Welcome to Gerard IT Academy. I am excited to have you here today as part of our Gerard Online IT class series. At Gerard IT Academy, our mission is simple: to make technology approachable, clear, and practical for learners at every level. Today's section is all about types of operating system. Operating systems are the backbone of every computer and device we use. From the Windows PC in offices to Apple's Mac OS or Macs, Linux powering servers, and Chrome OS driving Chromebooks. Understanding these systems is essential for anyone who wants to build a strong foundation in IT. Now, in this lesson, we will explore the different types of operating system you will encounter. We will break down the four most common workstation operation systems: the Windows, the Mac OS, the Linux, and the Chrome OS. We will discuss compatibility, updates, and risk of outdated systems. And finally, wrap up with a clear summary to reinforce your learning. By the end of this class, you will not only know the differences between these operation systems, but also understand how they impact the way we use technology every day. So let's dive in together. Welcome once again to Gerard IT Academy, and let's get started with types of operation system. The main teaching of today will be on Microsoft Windows, popularly known as general purpose operation system for personal computers. Example, Windows 10 and Windows 11. The Mac OS, which is the Apple desktop operation system known for stability and sleek interface. Example, Mac OS. The next is Linux, which is open source operation system used in servers, desktops, and security system. Example, Ubuntu. Now, we'll talk about Chrome operation system, which is a lightweight operation system built around the Chrome browser for cloud-based use. Example, Chromebooks. Find out the Android operation system, which is the mobile operation system designed for smartphones and tablets. Example, Samsung, Galaxy, Google, Pixels. Now, what is the type of the operation systems? We have mobile operation system, the Android, the iOS. We have workstation operation system, the Windows, the Mac OS, and the Linux. We have servers operation system. We have Windows, we have Linux and Mac OS. Embedded firmware in consoles, TV, and cars. The visualizations and hypervisor. We are going to look into them. Now, what is the meaning of operation system? Which is the definition? Operation system or an operation system is a software on your computer that allows you to access and use your computer memory, file system processes, hardware, software, and applications. Without it, only one program will run at a time, and that program will have to be programmed to communicate with your system's resources. In other words, computers are basically useless without the operating system. The operating system also provides a GUI or a graphical user interface that makes it easy to use your computer resources rather than having to use command line prompt for each task. Microsoft Windows Operation System. The first operation system or OS we will look at is Microsoft Windows Operation System. It is the most popular operating system in the world, and you are likely already familiar with it. Microsoft developed Windows as a proprietary graphical system for personal computers in 1985, and several versions have been released since then. It is developed by Microsoft 1985, and it is the most popular operating system worldwide. It is a proprietary graphical operation system and runs on many manufacturers' hardwares. Windows Edition. Microsoft offers different editions for different uses. For example, it has a home version that offers basic functions like web browsing, word processing, and security features like Windows Hello and Secure Boot. The Windows Pro edition includes all that the Home edition does, plus additional features that help you manage multiple workstations, such as group policy and active directories. The Pro edition are a good option for small to medium-sized businesses. For medium to large size operation, Microsoft offers its Enterprise Edition. These add even more features for managing environment with multiple workstations along with more security protection. Windows comes pre-installed on several Microsoft products. Next is the Apple Mac OS. The next most common operating system is the Mac OS, which is the operating system designed by Apple for all its Mac computers. Mac OS is a proprietary graphical operation system like Windows and is designed for workstations and embedded systems. Mac OS has also had several versions since its first release in 2001. From 2006 to 2020, Apple used an Intel processor just like Windows computer. This let users run Windows on a Macintosh computer. But in 2020, Apple announced the MI processor for their future operating system. The MI processor, which was created by Apple, will no longer allow Windows to run on Mac OS because of the new processor that Apple updated. Now let's look at Linux. Linux differs from Windows and Mac OS in a few ways. The biggest thing is that Linux is an open source Unix-like operating system. This means that it was created by a community, and anyone is free to use and make changes to it because it is open source. That is the meaning of open source. It has many free versions known as distributions that are based on the original Linux kernel. The kernel is the most basic component of an operating system and runs the CPU, the memory, and peripheral devices. Each of these distributions has features you might find useful depending on what you are working on. For example, Ubuntu is one of the most popular distributions because it can work as a desktop or server. Ubuntu also comes with software for word processing, internet access, email, spreadsheet, and more. Free to use, adaptable. Kernel manages CPU, memory, and devices. Popular distribution: Ubuntu, Debian, Fedora, and Red Hat, Mint, and CentOS. Part of the Linux. The Chrome, that's another one, is the last operating system we are going to talk about, or we look at today, the Chrome OS. Chrome OS is a Linux-based operating system that was developed by Google, but it is proprietary, not open source. It was developed from the free-to-use Chromium OS and is now found on all of Google notebook. Google OS offers a simplified operating system that focuses on cloud-based usage for users that do their work primarily online. Chrome operation system might be the most reasonable option. Chrome operation system does allow some offline work and installations of some Linux software and Android apps, but it is limited for schools and other organizations that are on a budget and need easy to use tools for all age groups. Notebook with Chrome also are a common choice. Google also offers a Chrome Enterprise Edition for managing multiple workstations. Compatibility and end of life. Regardless of the OS you work with, you have to keep in mind compatibility and end of life issues. For example, developers often create different versions of the application they are working on for each popular operating system. So, when you purchase an app, always be sure to check for compatibility with the OS that it was intended to be used on. Very, very important. In some cases, an application will reach its end of life when the operation system is updated to a newer version. Updated is the next one would look at. Updated version. Updated operation system risk or summary. No security patches. Vulnerable to attack. New apps may not run on old operation system. It reviews Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Chrome operation system. Importance of compatibility. Risk of outdated operation system version. All these are very, very important and should be taken into consideration before you look for a new version app. Now let us look at a few of the questions we have here. Number one question, what is the main role of an operation system? The main role of operation system is to manage hardware, software, and resources. That is the main role. Number two question is, name two common mobile operating systems. The answer is Android and iOS. Number three question on our list is, which operation system is the most widely used on desktop and laptops? That's the Windows. The Windows are the most operation system we use on our desktop and laptops. Now, what makes Linux different from Windows and Mac OS? What makes them different is that it only runs on Apple hardware. That is where Linux runs. Number five, which operation system is cloud-focused and commonly used in schools? The Chrome operation system is the answer. Number six, why is it risky to keep using an outdated operating system? Because it loses security update and app support is the answer. Now, what is the hypervisor used for? It is used to run multiple operating systems on one machine. That's the answer. Now, we have come to the end of the lesson. Let us say one or two things. A closing remark. I hope this is a great work today. You have explored the foundations of operating system, the Windows, the Mac OS, the Linux, and Chrome, and learn why compatibility and updates matter. Remember, operating systems are the bridge between hardware and the software, and keeping them current keeps you secured and productive. Thanks for joining Gerard IT Academy and Gerard Online IT class. Keep practicing, keep questioning, and let's continue making technology approachable together. Please always go through the questions, go through the descriptions, go through our lesson as many times you can. Memorize it very well. There's a lot to learn if you follow us on this channel. You don't have anything to regret of. We'll keep in touch to our next lesson where we will talk about some of the interfaces of the operation system to round it up before we move on to other lessons. Thank you and goodbye. God bless.